Hello and welcome to Rolling Out's Health IQ. My name is Portia Monique, and today I'll be your host. We also have a fabulous guest by the name of Dr. Danielle Cato, who's the owner and founder of the HealHer Collective. Welcome to the show, Dr. Danielle.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, can I call you Dr. Danielle, or how would you prefer?
Just call me Dr. D. That's easy.
Okay, I like that, Dr. D. So, Dr. D, I do know that you are a native of Detroit. I do live in Detroit, and you started something for breast cancer survivors, right? Well, I know you honor them. So tell us about the HealHer Collective. How did it come about? Why was an organization like this necessary? And then talk about celebrating 7 years as well this past Friday.
Actually, HealHer Collective was founded to just allow the woman to have a holistic approach to healing. A lot of times we are faced with so many different facets of life, from, life straight life. I say life be life. And so we remove ourselves oftentimes and forget to work through those fundamental aspects of ourselves. And so the HealHer Collective was solely birthed from a place of pain, hurt, and just from a place of self-discovery. So it was very personal to me. And every single year for the last 7 years, I have been doing the HealHer brunch. And what that is just an opportunity for me to pick different facets. So this year was breast cancer awareness. Last year, I honored individuals that were struggling or had situations that happened personally. They had to write essays, and the winners received scholarships. I've honored community leaders. So just various topics. Next year, I'll be doing domestic violence. But this year was very important for me. For some strange reason, I didn't realize the effects of breast cancer on the African-American community. And so I would hear about it all the time. And, just when something doesn't necessarily affect you personally, not that you don't have care and concern, but sometimes it's not looked at as in depth. And so I really didn't have anyone in my close immediate family that had been diagnosed with breast cancer or anything of that nature. But what I found out was that people that were connected to me, that were close to me, were suffering in silence. Some of them were embarrassed. Some of them had undergone treatment and didn't want to tell. So many different individuals, even a gentleman I went to high school with, and his wife went to high school with me as well. She passed away and she lost her fight. It was just like lots of people were just coming out. So it was just really important for me to do something for the cause and to honor women. So I ended up honoring this year 3 different women.
Wow.
And they were on different facets. One had been a survivor for 2 years. Another one, literally, she just finished her treatment, but it still has the effects. And then I had one young lady who's actually still in treatment right now. So just learning to hear from them, realizing and making that connection that everybody is a survivor of something, and you never know what the person sitting to the right or the left of you, what they are experiencing. So it was just a very deep, passionate, sentimental opportunity for me to really just to pour back into other people. And that's what the HealHer Collective is all about.
I love that. And you mentioned earlier that this year's theme was pink on purpose. Next year's theme, you're going to have something that aligns with domestic violence as well. How do you come up with your themes? And then specifically for this year, how did you come up with pink on purpose?
Well, again, because so many people that were around me and connected to me that I didn't know were suffering in silence, and I wanted to acknowledge and honor. So that's kind of how it came up this year. And I wanted to do something different. So it was an evening brunch at Bass Blue. I literally said, I was like, I'm going to do 50. Okay, then I'm going to do 75. Then I'm going to do 100. And it just kept going on and on and on. So I ended up selling out, going way beyond what I even expected. And people came out. We had a good time. We had a live jazz band. We had a DJ Rule. We had all kinds of vendors. I had henna. We had Chef Antoinette. She's the head chef at Duo, but she also has her own business. So she catered. We had prawns and salmon, just all kinds of stuff. So this year's Pink on Purpose came because, again, it was just something prevalent to our community that I really wanted to be more aware of and to gauge more into blessing individuals who had suffered from the effects of breast cancer. And it was just personal this year. Just like with every year, it just really is what drops into my spirit. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a particular set of rules or schedule to say, hey, I'm gonna do this year. It's what drops in my spirit. Last year, I wanted to bless high school students that were going to college. This year was breast cancer. And then when I was literally doing this, I realized that the month of October is not only breast cancer awareness, but it's also domestic violence awareness month, and then also infant, loss. And both of those topics are very, very personal. I've experienced both. So just a lot of times when I do this is because it's something that pierces my heart, something that I have been affected by. I believe that you become an expert through experience. And so it's just things that really prick my heart. So next year is going to be very, very personal to me. Because of some of the experiences that I have gone through. And I'm really looking forward to, once again, blessing those who came out who survived.
Listen, I commend you for just making sure that you're providing a platform to help and heal and celebrate some of these women, because I don't know if we all have been living like the same lives in the same household, and because it just seems like we all have gone through a cycle of some of the same things, right? And so even for me, I'm from San Francisco. I was born and raised in San Francisco.
Okay, Kelly.
But I attended high school here. I went to an HBCU, Grambling State University, but it just seems like some of the stories, they just are cyclical, and everyone in my friend group has at least gone through the same thing. And like I said, that's from San Francisco to Detroit to Ruston, Louisiana, Grambling, Louisiana. And so, I commend you for having a platform to celebrate these women. Now, speaking of celebrating the women, right? So this year was Pink on Purpose, of course, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You celebrated some of the women at your brunch, right? Tell us more about the women that you celebrated, who they are, what their stories were, and how you guys celebrated on Friday.
Well, I'm so thankful just because, giving brunches and giving events are very expensive. So I am tremendously grateful for sponsors, because there's no way I would have been able to even think about having an event of such. So we had at Base Blue, which is a women's club here, and I'm actually a member there. And as soon as I called and met with one of the directors there, it was just like, yes, let's partner up. Let's figure out how we can work together. And then, so what I did for the women, we had it there. They all were showered with gifts. So the craziest part is everybody had a story. So I honored two of them were connected to my girlfriend, and one of them was connected to me through Win. And so the craziest part is that I had met one of them. Her name is Chanel. And we went over to her house. We was just talking. We was just kicking, and we were like, okay, let's just go. She was like, I need to go see my cousin, because she kind of dealt with breast cancer or whatever. And I'm like, wow. So again, breast cancer just kept coming up. So this was even before I thought about the theme. I'm like, okay. So we went to Chanel's, and she introduced her husband. She was like, hey, this is my husband, Cato. I'm like, Cato. I'm like, that's my last name, right? So I'm looking like, wait, like, the irony of that being your first name. So he was like, yeah, I was named after an attorney name. He said his last name was Cato. And I was like, are you serious? Come to find out that her cousin was named after my father. So how everything is so divinely connected, everything is connected, right? So just talking to her and listening to her, she was having a really bad day. And she touched my heart, and I picked her as an honoree because even on that day, she had a really bad sick spell that day, and she pressed her way coming. And one of the things that really connected me to her in particular was the mental health piece, because she said, she was like, I'm effed up. I messed up. She was like, I've been through treatment. She was like, it's done. But she was like, nobody talks about the mental component. She was like, nobody talks about how, I have to, on a daily basis, I'm fighting to find out who am I again. I'm learning myself again. And although, we go through these evolving moments, but imagine being in a situation to where now you can't remember certain things, or, looking at your body, you're feeling a certain kind of way. So she and I really connected on the mental component. So that's her story. Another was her aunt, which is Robin. I actually seen her out maybe 2 years ago. Might have been right when she was literally in the midst of treatment, and I didn't know who she was. We live around, I live in West Village. So she lives around the corner. So I was at the gas station, and she was like, Danielle. And I'm just like, hey, how you doing? I'm a really light, liberated, free spirit. So, I'm a speak, love, hey, how you doing? And I didn't know who she was. And she was in the midst of treatment. She had lost all her hair, lost her eyebrows, eyelashes, and stuff like that. So what really led me to honor her was because she survived. She came out. So to see where she was, and I equate that to a lot of times we really want to embrace and endure these promises, but nobody wants to go through the process. We look at things from the perspective of, oh, it's bad, 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 bad. But sometimes those really hard, rough, intricate moments are the very thing that will get you to your next. And, your next is now if you're able to endure the process. The promise is on the other side of the process. And so that's what connected me to her. And then the final young lady that I actually selected, her name was Stephanie. I'm also a founder and the vice president of the Wealth Investor Network, which is another organization for women to pour into them that own businesses. And we do master classes. We do all types of financial trainings and workshops, and we get together, we connect. And she is a member of my organization. And when I talked to the president, her name's Portia as well, Portia and I were just talking, and she shared to me about where Stephanie was in her journey. And I just immediately was crying, my little sensitive self, always crying because I have such a care and concern for other people. But she was telling me about her story, and I just felt compelled to really just honor her and to do something for her, because she's actually in the midst of her treatment. So she lost her hair. And it's crazy because Stephanie don't even like pink. She was like, I don't even like breast cancer awareness, but it's you, But we came, and I felt like I wanted to honor her, just to let people to know, what is your stance in the middle? And a breakthrough means that you are breaking through. That means that you're going through. You're not stuck or stagnated in the middle or in the midst of where you are. And so to see her going through, even days where you're in pain, even days, her realizing that my pain has purpose. I'm going to take this, because I was like, well, how much do you want to share? Because she's a very private person. She was like, I'm sharing it, because I don't know what my story can do. And we don't know. A lot of times we go through things, and our stories is complex, hard, rough, challenging as minimal or maximal as they are, they're purposeful for someone else to help pull them from beautiful moments. So those were the three women, and they were showered with all kinds of stuff. Knock Twice gave them dinner. Knock Twice is a new Black-owned restaurant, and it's a speakeasy. They gave them dinner. Skinforia gave them facials. Oh, wow. They had a box made with all types of breast cancer awareness items. I purchased them Forever flowers. Because I told them this is a Forever love. I can't even remember all the stuff that they got. They received a massage from E Rose, and that's my personal masseuse. So I can go on and on, but they received lots of gifts. Sweet Favors made them a box. They received Social Essentials, made them a box of organic products. So all I did was made a call, and people wanted to pour into them. So I'm so thankful for my sponsors and individuals that sacrificed to bless somebody else. So they got lots and lots of gifts and lots of love. They were able to share their stories and their testimony, and people were blessed. I have gotten nothing but positive feedback. So I'm just, as long as somebody else was touched, moved. And like I said, the craziest part was even in the midst of honoring them, I made a call out for individuals who were either suffering or who are, faced with breast cancer, or who had survived. And it was several women there. Even one of the ladies that I had as my assistant, which was Orina for the evening, she brought in her team, and one of her team members was a breast cancer survivor. Wow. One of my former business partners, her mother came. She's a breast cancer survivor. And then I had another individual who was there that literally just finished her treatment, and she did not want to share anything about her story out of, I don't want to say not embarrassment, but just being private and just kind of not knowing. And so her coming out was literally at my brunch.
Oh my gosh.
Shared it at my brunch. Yeah.
It sounds like, just again, I commend you. Such a beautiful gesture for you to create a platform like this for these women to shine and feel valued, share their stories. and touch other women's lives, just, and not even other women, just other people in general. And thank you so much for sharing their stories as well, because again, I'm sure that, you know, when you share your story, you don't know the effect that it may have on someone else, right? And so I just see just a lot of love going on during your events. And, you know, again, to you, congratulations, kudos. I commend you for that. And then you were talking specifically about the mental health component about breast cancer, right? So I spoke to a couple of ladies last week. And again, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're doing a series on Health IQ for breast cancer awareness, speaking to doctors, speaking to owners, founders, people who have come out of, well, they are living in remission. And last week I spoke with Sheila Marie Johnson. Her story is actually coming out on I did it again. Her story is actually coming out on BET Plus. Y'all,
I love it. Okay.
But the name of her story is God's Grace, the Sheila Johnson story. It premieres on BET Plus on October 19th. And I was speaking with her, and she, you know, you can go to her Facebook page and see that she's always upbeat. She's always happy. I believe she was in remission for 13 years. And she has metastatic breast cancer. Nonetheless, on the show last week, she said how she had got a call that previous week and the cancer had come back. And so you could just see, you know, the disappointment in her face. But you also saw a resilient fight that's what she was about to do, you know, gear up for another fight. But let's talk about that component of it, that mental health component that you see our sisters going through. And, you know, you want to say, oh my God, you know, they're such fighters. They're so resilient. They're so strong. They're so courageous and brave in the face of illness and whatnot. But talk about how that affects women and what are some of the things that they can do to kind of, you know, cheer themselves up, for lack of a better word.
Well, I think that one of the things that with any illness, and since we're talking about, and particularly breast cancer, we have to realize that we can look at the physical, which is this body that we're in. We look at it from, okay, I have ailments, I'm sick. But then sometimes we alleviate the mental, or we fail to skip over the mental component of our health, and it all ties in together. So yes, you're so focused on, you know, making sure that you're okay and making sure that you're going to the doctor's appointment. But let's talk about the effects that has had on you mentally. You know, let's talk about the effects that it has had on looking at your body, in some instances deteriorate or change rapidly. Sometimes you have to go through, you know, mastectomies, or sometimes you have to go through, you know, ports in your body. All these different things has to affect you at some point mentally. And so if we're not also addressing the physical component, we also need to look into the mental. So whether it is talking to somebody as far as a licensed clinician or a therapist, you know, doing holistic practices, going to Reiki, sound healing, or rather it is doing something, you know, some people, you know, your outlet may be for you to go to church to get, you know, uplifted. Your outlet may be for you to go to a sister circle group for, you know, healing at the water. Whatever it is for you, it has to be specifically catered to the needs of you. But mentally, we have to really realize and begin to dissect and intersect the fact that they all tie in together. The most interesting thing too that I was finding, and we don't really talk a lot about this, is that I know that people are going through with breast cancer and, you know, all types of ailments and things, but also the people that we're connected to and how they become the beneficiaries of our lack of, you know, taking care of ourselves mentally. We may have emotional deficiencies, and that trickles down and they become now wounded and hurt, or even with the people that are connected to us that have to see us deteriorating or see us going down, or they're not able to really, you know, help us the way that they want to, and they're just there. They're in presence, which is powerful, but also those individuals will need help. You know, think about your children watching you, you know, and then for some individuals, I know I talked to a few women recently that were giving, you know, a certain amount of time to live. that are suffering with this and battling with this. And so mentally, they just, of course, that's heavy.
Yeah.
But then you think about their children, where are they at, where, the spouses and things like that. So the mental component is very important for us to tie it all together. So as we take care of our physical, and this is in any component, whatever is going on within us, within the body, making sure that we are also taking care of the mind, taking care of those thoughts, making sure that we're meditating, that we're praying, making sure that we are, connecting to self, being able to identify what's going on in my body. How am I feeling? Allowing yourself to feel. It's okay to feel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, we want to go through things and expedite through things and not feel. No, feeling shows that you're still here, that you're present. Feeling is the yin and the yang. It goes right along with, everything else. What matters is your response to whatever you're going through and whatever is regulating. And that ties into the mental component. So the mental is very, just as important as the physical piece. So get a therapist, get a coach, and look out for the people also that's around you, but making sure that you are not only just making sure that you're getting your treatment, make sure you're getting your mental treatment too.
But Dr. D, I don't want to get a therapist. I don't want to get a coach. I don't feel like doing none of that because I'm already depressed. So what are some of the physical things that I can do myself to help me kind of push forward? Do I need a support group? Do I, what are some of those things that can help, move the needle just a bit so that I can begin to be better for myself and my family and my immediate surroundings?
And that's a good point because, again, everything is not, tailored. It's not this one fit universal regulatory stance that individuals need to take. That's for healing, because healing is an ongoing process. It's not something that just happens and it's over. It's ever flowing. Even if you had cancer and it goes away, there's still at some point something that you'll have to do. You may have a mental trigger. You may have a bodily trigger. So it's something that's ongoing. So it's no cookie cutter right or wrong, yes or no. But what it is you have to do what works for you. But the thing is, you have to do something. So whether it is, again, go down to the water, whether it is, journaling, whether it is being mindful of the music that you're allowing to infiltrate within your spirit and your soul, whether it is being connected with people who really want to see you heal, because not everybody wants to see you in a better place. Some people enjoy seeing you down or because it's giving them something to talk about, so connecting with the right people. You can be close to say you're close to a lot of people, but how many people are you really connected to that really have a genuine passion? So being mindful of the individuals, it may be a support group for going outside of your network and getting some people that you don't know that can relate to you. And so that y'all can, share stories on how they made it through. It could be, anything, light a candle and take a bath. It could be anything, go to the movies, go, you know what I'm saying? Go whatever it is for you, specifically for you, that's going to help you get out of a dark and lower place and put you on a higher frequency. You have to do that for you. And it's specific to you. So whatever works for you, do it.
As long as you do something, right? And so you have to surround yourself with positive people who want to help you, who want to support you, and who can, right? Because a lot of times, some of the people that you around can't help you. and
you know what, and it makes it worse too. Being around, seriously, you have to. I have learned to, in this particular season of my life, like I only want authentic, genuine relationships. I just made a post about that. Like I don't want people around me or connected to me that just want to know my business, that just want to, have screenshots about what you think is going on. Because when people don't know what's going on, they make up stuff about you, right? And all kinds of perils. I'm like, oh, I did that. Oh, I'm pretty skilled. I'm good. And the same thing goes when you're experiencing different things and challenges within your health. You have to be very mindful about who you're around. I don't need that negative energy. If you're going through a process of healing, you can't have your gossiping sister around you. You don't need to have your home girl that's sitting up here. You tell her you hurting and she coming back telling you she hurting too. No, that's not helping you.
It's not.
That's putting you more in the lower place. So just really being mindful about the people that you are around and you have to be considerate of self. And that might be, you might have been selfish for a long time and that's okay,
That's
do what you have to do
okay.
for you.
Do
That
what
is
you have to do.
absolutely.
And so I spoke with Ricky Fairley. She's the CEO of Touch, the Black Breast Cancer Alliance. We spoke with her the first week in October. And one of the things that she said that she had to do was to make her peace non-negotiable. She said, so I got rid of my was-been, W-A-S. I got rid of my was-been. I went down to get, I got rid of my big house. I downsized, got me a little condo by the beach, condo townhouse by the beach. And she said, now she goes and she kayaks every day. She said, I had to make my peace non-negotiable. And she said, one of the things that also helps her is, her Black Breast Cancer Alliance, which you guys can go find online, the Black Breast Cancer Alliance. And she says, fighting for other women, it's also something that brought her peace. So there are support groups that are out there that can help you navigate, that can help give you that support. If you want to just talk to people, and someone who you feel as if is going, through something like you, then join those type of support groups because they are out there. And the one thing that I took away from that, like if I didn't take any other thing away, the one absolute thing that I took away from that was making my peace non-negotiable. Like you just have to slough everything off, like, cut out and continue, because that's so helpful for your mental peace, your state of mind. And, how can you move on when you are in chaos in your mind? So one of the things that I would suggest, and of course I got it from Ricky Fairley, CEO of Touch, the Black Breast Cancer Alliance, is to make your peace non-negotiable. And she says she has been in remission for several years now. I don't see how many years, but she's been in remission for a very long time. So I think it's over a decade. So that's definitely.
Self is non-negotiable. When you think about making sure you're okay, it's not negotiable. If you're doing something that is disrupting my peace, that means you're disrupting me. And if I'm trying to heal or whatever I'm going through or whatever I'm experiencing, that's a non-negotiable. I will cut you off. I don't care if you're family, blood. I don't care if we've been friends for 20 or 30, 40, 16, 18, 5, 2 years. Yeah. If you are disrupting my peace, because you got to think that peace is that place of stillness. That's that place you can go to when everything else around you is going haywire and going crazy. And if you're disrupting that one place that I can really go to.
Yeah, you gotta get cut off. You gotta get cut off.
Peace out.
So listen, I can talk to you all day. I know we only got a couple of minutes left, but I do also want to talk to you about the growth of the HealHer Collective, right? So let's talk about that, the mission of it. Where do you see yourself going, at least for next year? And then just the impact that you're going to have on, we'll continue in the beauty brunch and all of the other initiatives that you're going to support going forward.
Well, actually, so my two big events that I do, I started the HealHer, holiday HealHer as well. That's in December. Okay. And so I'm in the midst of like planning and working on that too. But one of the things I have learned is to stay present and embrace the moment. So I have to, as opposed to skipping over the goodness and things that have happened at this event, I wanted to embrace this, this moment. But those are my two signature things that I do under the HealHer. And again, it just, it goes back to me being able to pour into women. So last year, what I did for all the funds that I collected, I was able to, a mother was facing eviction in the cold in the winter in December. And I was able to pay her first month's and her security deposit. And she had a house before Christmas. And so this year, I'm just kind of waiting to see kind of where my spirit guides me and what I want to do. But the HealHer Collective is all about, again, the holistic approach to making sure that a woman is solid, learning who you are. So we're broad. We do workshops. I do classes. I do Reiki, sound healing. I have a studio that is right off of East Jefferson. I do trainings. I do, so anything for women, for the betterment of them is what I pretty much do. Within the next year, my plan is to really I want to expand and seek out some grants so that I'm actually able to touch more, because I'm like paying out of my pocket for a lot of stuff. It's been sacrificial. I have planted so many seeds, which is good because I've been blessed because of it. But I want to get some grants to expand and be able to actually have a really strong, solid team so that we can just get the word out there and get to pouring into more and more women so that we can cultivate those and activate that healing power that we all have, that goddess energy that we have on the inside. So I really want to do more of that. So I just look, 2024 is going to be a good year of growth and development for me being able to touch more and more women. And I also want to be able to connect with other organizations and to connect with other, individuals that are doing the same type of mission work that I'm doing, which is to help. So whether it is a shelter, whether it is you have a tutoring program, whether it is you're helping a single mother, whether you're helping somebody that's domestically involved, whatever the case is, I love connecting and unifying with other women.
Well, we definitely love that. We will be following you on your journey. Where can we follow you on this journey?
You can follow me on Instagram. Well, actually, all of my social media handles are the HealHer Collective. So everything is up underneath that. So you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I also have a group for women. It's growing. It started during the pandemic where I was able to touch over 1,200 women. It's called the HealHer Virtual Spa. So find that and come follow. It is free. I literally give homework. I drop fun. We laugh, we cry. I do lives in there. We do events together. So it is under the umbrella of the HealHer Collective as well. So follow me.
And then HealHer Holiday. So, of course, you said you have location on Jefferson in Detroit. But tell us about the HealHer Holiday for this year. How can we get involved? How can we donate? All of those great things.
So I'm actually going to this year. Like I said, I'm waiting to see what my spirit leads me to do as far as that. But usually what I do is if you follow me, I'll have everything pretty much outlined the first week of November, and I'll let everybody know how you can come and support. And I'll have a link and everything for that. Because what I'm thinking about doing, I really want to have a big party, and I want to be able to have some families where we're actually able to bless them before the holiday season. So where people can come and bring toys, bring items for the children and the family and different things for some families that are in need. So that's what I'm thinking. So it's in the making, it's in the works. So stay tuned, make sure you follow me, and let's all connect.
Let's all connect. Stay tuned. Of course, again, she's in Detroit, guys, but she accepts internationally, globally, internationally. Okay, globally, all of that. So make sure you follow her. It was certainly a pleasure speaking with you today. I have a feeling that this won't be the last time that we're doing like this. You highly commend you for everything that you're doing in the community. You're gonna get blessed, doing it out of your own pocket. I had an organization that I was doing out of my own pocket, so I understand thoroughly how that feels. But
people, you know how it is. People think they're paying for a ticket. I'm like, honey, that's just the food. That's not nothing else. You know how it is. Like, wait.
Right. But you're doing so much in the community, and we, want to make sure that we're acknowledging you for donating, helping in any way that we can. So sponsors, donators, all of y'all, make sure y'all follow her and make sure that you support and donate. Until next time, I am Portia Monique. Please tune in to Health IQ every week, where we are speaking with a healthcare professional who is advocating for us, informing us, educating us on what it is that we need to know in the Black community, our community, so that we can make some better informed decisions. We appreciate you so much, Dr. D.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, guys.